What's up, Matt from Urchfab. This is part 19 on the Mongrel. So I just got some more tube turned up so we can get the back of that roll cage finished, and I've got myself a new tube supplier. I ordered this tube yesterday at 11 o'clock and it's now the day after 5 to 10 in the morning and it's just turned up. So less than 24 hours and it's here. And it came from Performance Metals. So I'll put a link in the description for them. And difference with these guys is that they specialise in supplying the motorsport industry with tube, whereas my other supplier is just a huge steel supplier. So when you say you want 6 or 7 lengths, they're not really interested because they want to be selling stuff by the ton. The other thing is, like, if you just order CDS tube, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be getting the right spec for building a roll cage to meet whatever regs you're working to. These guys have their own specific tube. This is ROPT 510. ROP is for rollover protection. So this is a specific CDS tube for building roll cages. They know exactly what they're talking about, so if you phone them up, say I'm building a roll cage for this spec, they're going to be able to say, this is the tube you need, and they'll supply it with you and you're going to get it straight away. So yeah, let's get cracking with that. So got one diagonal done. We need to get that welded in, and then we'll cut the other two to make the cross in the back. Just going to clean up the centre section of this where the tubes are going to cross over, and I won't have to do it while it's in the car. If you watched my dice video yesterday, you'll know that I went to extra effort to make sure that I got the numbers right on the opposite side, so they all add up to 7. What a retard. When you've got like a junction of multiple tubes joining into the same spot, you want to weld around each tube fully before you add the next. So that's fully welded around, and then we'll add this one, and that will be fully welded around, rather than like stacking them all up and then welding around them all at the end. If you do it this way, you'll have a much stronger joint. So now we're just going to cut 2 lengths, making sure they meet exactly in the middle and that this is completely straight right the way through. So now we just need to get a straight edge and make sure that these are running perfectly straight so that they're not, offset or anything, and that they meet in exactly the same position, and we can get it all tacked in, weld it all up. You seem to have lost me a ruler. So I use this little light. I did have a battery one, but it broke. But I just use that to illuminate the area that I'm welding, obviously, because in a car it's really dark. Like down there, it's not really gonna, it's not that bad. But when you're trying to weld up in here and you've got a welding helmet on, you can't see. But when you've got one of these, you can just clip it onto the wherever you want it, angle it right at the area you're welding, and then that gives you a nice light to work with. Just makes life easier. So we're all welded in. So now I'm going to make these little wrap over gusset type plate things that are going to sit over here. Someone said they're called taco gussets, which I can see why you would call them that. I'm just going to do one at the top, one at the bottom. You could do 4. To be honest, I wouldn't do any, but I know that there's people that want to know how you make them, so I'm going to put 2 in. So what you're going to do to start off with, so you're going to mark your tube where you want them. I want mine roughly up to there. Measure the distance in between the 2 tubes. So that's going to be the point in which it wraps over the tube. So I'm looking at like 180. And then you need to measure your distance from the centre point here where they're going to meet. So that's where the triangle is going to come down to the bottom. You want to measure that up to where it's going to be, 110. And then it's going to come up there, wrap around the top, go down the other side. So you've got 220. And then half this tube is 62, I think, if I remember rightly. 220, 62, 282 by 180. Just cut that out as a rectangle on a piece of card, which we'll do now. What I'll do now is just mark a centre line down the middle of there. Drag something over the top, and it will give you like a rough line like that. Like that. And just fold it on your centre line that you've scribed, that you've marked, and then just obviously just trace that cut. And that will just wrap around, drill a hole either side, little swage doodah in there, one there, weld them on, optional. So if you were doing 4 of these, you'd actually want to trim this back a little bit so that when you overlap them all together, you've got enough room to actually weld that to the tube. I'm going to be careful when you're bending them over, just to make sure that you're like equal on each side. So they'll want to like creep up out of the tube if you don't clamp them a little bit, but job done.
Like a glove.
It's a thing of beauty. So there you go, how to make a taco shell out of steel and weld it in your roll cage. I bet it was easier than you thought. That's it for today. New heater should be turning up tomorrow. It's getting proper chilly now. So back on it again tomorrow. That is it for this one. Cheers for watching, see you on the next one.